goes through or not. Okay, looks like we are good and back. Welcome back, y'all. Um, excuse me. You're getting like a cold or something. So, part two of our weather watching the Central Valley, California thunderstorms, and we currently do have another cluster of cells that have formed on the western side of the valley in Yolo, and it looks like I think this is Glenn County. It is currently moving to this column is moving towards Calusa at 45 miles an hour. And we also have this major cluster here that's in the San Francisco Bay Area and also to the west side of the valley. It's currently moving in too, and they're all moving due north. We do have a severe thunderstorm warning that is in effect right now for the Camilo Valley area. The severe thunderstorm warning is up for 13 more minutes. A tornado is possible. Hail of 1 inch in diameter. And 70-mile-an-hour winds. Damage threat considerable. That is from the San Francisco National Weather Service office that has issued that warning. And currently coming back up to the Sacramento National Weather Service zone and the valley. We're watching this particular group cluster this formed in the last like 25 minutes, I think it was, and it's moving northeast about 45 miles an hour, and significant heavy rain in I think it was Barkley. That's how you pronounce that. As you can see in this little cluster right here. No rotation with it, though, that I can tell. Nothing obvious, at least. Now, the difference is about these California-type tornadoes than like what we see in the Midwest. Our tornadoes are very narrow. Most of the time, they're less than 50 yards across. So the rotation is very thin, and sometimes it's hard to detect outside the background clutter. So that is something we are definitely watching. This is the remaining cluster that came through the Sacramento area earlier today in our first stream. As you can see, both flash flood warnings were canceled. They have been changed to flood advisories. And we are definitely watching this system moving in right now. This did trigger a special marine warning outside the San Francisco coastline. That was for winds that were like over 40 knots, which I think is like 30 miles an hour. I'm not 100% sure on that. Correct me if I'm wrong. Down south, we still have a special marine warning, special weather statement, a couple of flash flood warnings in the San Bernardino area, and obviously our 2 special weather statements for this cell. This is heading into the higher elevation, so I do not think it's going to cause much of a problem. However, this group does have a marginal risk for becoming severe. The models have been pretty consistent with it as it moves towards the Chico area. So that's what we got on this part, and we're also watching this to see if this gets going too. So this is going to be kind of a repeating pattern for the rest of the night. Well, at least until the main line comes in, which that will be in... Get that model up for you. Yes. Yeah, Jameson, I'm assuming you're using the radar app as well, correct? One second. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring up this is our hour-to-hour forecast to give you an idea of what we're looking at. So it's pretty good consistently tracking what's going on Doppler. So let's see what it looks like in an hour. So in about an hour, we're still going to see a little cluster, Yuba City towards Chico. We're still monitoring that same little cluster that comes in. But now I'm going to let it play real quick. I want you to see what comes in. So as we see this continuing pattern that develops, but then here comes the main squall lines. This squall line comes in at about 4 in the morning. And this is going to wipe out any type of severe weather for the overnight hours. So this model is not fully realized yet, so we're going to let it do its thing. But also tomorrow afternoon, we do have a chance for more isolated severe weather, or maybe even a tornado risk in the valley as well. That would be for the afternoon hours. We're going to definitely be watching this particular cell right now. So it's moving over Colusa, Williams, Maxwell. The heaviest part of the cell seems to be just north of Interstate 5 in the middle of Glenn County. Now, Maxwell, Sutter, and this area is tornado prone. I want to say about maybe about the last 40% of all type of tornadoes that have occurred in this part of the state have occurred in this area. This area is open farmland for the most part, with a handful of small towns, for the exception of Yuba City and Oroville, Durham, Chico. They're a little larger, but this whole area is pretty sparse. In fact, up here in that would be Tehama County, but I forget which one is which. One is Tehama and one is Glenn. This is Butte County here. This is actually the area where we've seen the long track tornadoes back in 2011. But right now the storm isn't severe. It doesn't seem to be, one second. Doesn't seem to have anything. It does have a decent little hail core with it though. Heavy rain, large hail indicators. So let's see if they let's see what the Weather Service decides to do with the storm. So there is a large hail indicator in it. That means they may issue it. It's always up to them, but they may issue a severe thunderstorm warning for it. Yeah, rain and hail. It's even coming back as snow. So it might be some groupal, I think is what they call that. Alright, so let's see what happens. And rotation-wise, though, I haven't seen anything obvious. Let's go to storm, because this is moving pretty quickly. It's just a lot of clutter, so it's hard to really see what's what, really. I'm definitely watching to see if they're going to do something about that one cell that has... At least the radar is, how big is the hail? It just says large hail, so it's probably about maybe an inch. Good. Radar imaging doesn't really do too good, but hold on, let me turn on the storm tracks and see if it gives us a indicator. And this one's definitely giving off some rotation. According to this, there's some significant rotation. But I don't know if that's an accurate assessment, especially with these little... That's why I'm not too fond of the storm. Okay, we have another special weather statement that just came off. 1 second, let's see. Hail size. Yeah. Yeah, that's not even registering on the contour. So let's see what the new statement is. Okay, still 25. So a quarter of an inch hail, 30-mile-an-hour winds. It's been extended. Moving north, 40 miles an hour. Pea-sized hail is what it says. Let's see if anything else is under it. Torrential rainfall is occurring. Yeah, it doesn't specify any other... Matt, you're fired from YouTube. Why am I fired from YouTube, Allied? If it was grapefruit. Yeah, it was sucked. Okay, we got another scan. Another well in time. Oh, let's go back down here. Okay, that severe thunderstorm warning has been allowed to expire. So... Right now, this is the storm that we're monitoring, and like as you can see, it became a little more heavier. See, now it went away. just, yeah. See, that's the thing about, like, I'm not trying to make any predictions or anything else. I'm just letting them do their job. See how much rainfall's come for this thing. So far, about a ½ inch of rain's fallen. Okay. It's raining here too. Yeah. It's been raining all over the place. We had a flash flood warning about a few hours ago. About an hour ago, 2 hours ago. When we had it come through. Here, actually, I will replay that for you. Let me get it off the screen. Now, let's see. See this cell that came through right here? This triggered a flash flood warning for our area. Whoa. Wait a minute. Oh, back up. Watch that corner. Right here. Watch when it goes across the screen. Yeah, there was definitely some rotation there. Yeah, they were talking about that on the local news that they were seeing rotation in this area. Problem is, though, the terrain causes some, I guess, some spin effects to the radar because I've seen that happen before, so that's probably why there wasn't a warning. Got another cell, looks like there's forming behind it. I am definitely interested to see once this gets in here how it's going to behave. Matt, you got to work in 2 Saturdays. Yeah, Allied, I do have to work in 2 Saturdays. Working Saturday isn't that big of a deal to me. Definitely Daily City. You have to get a nice drink from that when it comes in. So we are still watching this activity as it comes through. Right now, everything goes no. So as you can see, everything within the green here, the darker green color from the coastline to the valley, indications of damaging winds or maybe a tornado. This is 5%, 2% marginal risk, so it's very low end risk. But that's what we're keeping an eye out for. This is going to be like this all night, but right now I am just watching this cluster of cells right now. As it's moving towards Calusa. Calusa is definitely going to be getting a nice hail and drink with this as it gets over them. And my wrist is a little jacked up today. Picking up those cans today was not a good day. Yeah, so tonight we're going to see probably another event of strong winds, probably in the 50, 60 mile an hour range, gusting, and that most likely is going to come through in the early morning hours. And then tomorrow afternoon we have another possible chance of some weather as well. How's your day been, Matt? Eventful. So let me tell you guys what happened this morning with this morning. So those of you who were here last time, you can't understand it. So several of my coworkers got drenched. So they got soaked so bad by that heavy downpour. And they got soaked by the heavy downpour that their socks were so wet that they had to ask for new socks from our operations manager. That's how bad it is. Now tomorrow I will, obviously it's Christmas. We do not operate, so I'll be basically doing some other stuff. Maybe we'll live stream if I can. And Saturday there will be no live stream, nor the following Saturday because I'll be at work. Because we make up for it. So we take Christmas and New Year's off, but we also make up for it. So, but I'm also thinking for New Year's, I'm going to do a full live stream to close out the year. Did they dry up? Yeah, they dried up. It just took a minute. But when it comes down to, so they're closing out the New Year's, we're just going to do a full live stream starting at like probably 7 my time, and I'm just going to run a live stream, probably a video gaming live stream all the way to midnight. Might just do GTA and grind with my boy Derek on that. If he's not too busy getting drunk on damn self. Okay. Special weather statement for Butte. Who is that? That is, I think that's Yuba County. Yeah, this is Sutter. That's Yuba County. Yeah, that one's expired. We're still watching this one. I'm also going to keep an eye on what's coming up as well. These are, for the most part, I think this is just pretty much showers and thunderstorms. I don't think that I can get a lightning count, can I? Yeah, the lighting's on, so I'm not seeing anything obvious. Mizzle discussions. No discussions down. Probably, yeah. Just the water one down south. Okay. That is some real heavy rain falling right there, though. So, southwest of Calusa is definitely getting rained on pretty hard. Let's see what this total storm accumulation so far. Oh, I meant 1 hour. Okay. Let's take a look at the past 3 hours. Yeah, as you can see what happened here. 2 inches. Yeah, this would trigger the flash flood warning. Some of this area even got almost like 3 inches of rain out of it. But, yeah. Accumulation array? Alright, what we got here? So, yeah, it's about a ½ inch of rain is falling pretty quickly. Yeah, it's there's definitely some hail mixed in with that. And into the coastal range, we're definitely seeing some heavier showers now. Wouldn't be surprised you hear thunder with them. So, but the good part is, I'm going to go ahead and bring up a model real quick. Give me a second here. I'm going to zoom in on Northern California to give you guys an outlook here. We're going to look at the NAM. Let's look at the NAM. So, I'm going to bring this up real quick while we're waiting. Check on the live weather in a minute. So here's basically what our outlook kind of looks like. So we're going to see this clustering continuing. As you can see, it has the main front comes in. And then here comes this other front. This is tomorrow morning. Going in towards the noon time. But now around this time is when we're going to be watching out here. May not transpire as much as it is, but some of the other models I looked at had something coming in. Then obviously something coming in at Friday night, and then we'll be clearing out for the weekend. So 1 or 2 more days of this stuff, and it seems to be fine. Let's see if we get the wind gust for tomorrow. So here we are. 10 p.m. It's supposed to be 43. This model is, yeah, it's backed off a lot. And you can see you get 55, 50 mile an hour winds. This is at 5 a.m. tomorrow. And that's kind of, at least what this model suggests. So we're still going to be obviously watching for the wind. High wind warning is still up for the area. We still have some small flood watches as well. But the main activity, like what we're seeing in Southern California today, that was about it. So up here, it's more of a snow event now, and some severe weather that could pop off, but it's very marginal, which is about it. But I am definitely watching this cluster of cells. Look, we have this other cell here that's starting to get a little heavy in the back. Got a little back building going on. So let's go check out the San Joaquin Valley, see what they're See what they look like right now. Okay, I'm on a cluster of cells. Nothing. Good. All right, let's check out the Los Angeles area. Let's check out. So this is towards Santa Barbara and Oxnard. All right. Let's check it out. I don't see anything obvious. Now, water spouts are a little bit different than tornadoes spot. But it is that is definitely. Yeah, this storm is pushing out. That downdraft is definitely putting out some strong winds. Almost 60 miles an hour with this. What are we going to do after the weather? Garland, probably not going to do nothing tonight. We'll be picking that up tomorrow. Because tonight, last night, I didn't get much sleep last night because of the storm and other factors. So, yeah, we're going to monitor this for a little bit and then probably call it a night. Another heavy cluster in Vacaville area. Yeah, this should choke it out. This cluster is definitely gonna choke any type of activity out. So, and this is catching up to it pretty fast. I mean, you see how it's closing the distance. Like, look. See how quickly it's kind of closing the distance on it. So, yeah, that's what we got right now. I don't see anything really a concern other than just heavy rain and maybe some hail and some strong winds with some of these cells. But there's even though there's a lot of shear in the atmosphere, there's nothing in the sense of rotation that I'm seeing that screams to me that, hey, we need to watch this cell or watch another cell. Now, obviously, the bigger cell we're going to watch is probably down there. So this whole marginal risk is from Los Angeles Basin all the way up to the shorelines. It looks like they extended it to Crescent City now. So tornado damaging wind risk. 2% for tornado, 5% for damaging wind risk. As you can see, 2% risk for tornado, 5% for wind, and there is no hail risk that I can see. Yep. So, excessive rainfall, though. Everything in this color, this greenish color outline is marginal, slight, moderate, high. So this was the outlook for today. That's why Los Angeles saw a lot of flooding today. And they also had a tornado warning for near their downtown area. There's but I didn't see any indication that said anything actually touched down or anything. But there was rotation to the east of downtown around noon today, I want to say. So Calusa is definitely getting a drink right now. See if we got anything. Yeah, it's probably just Groupal and yeah, a lot of Groupal smelling with this. That's definitely accumulating on the ground. But like I said, this is a more rural area, so I'm not too. I mean, other than maybe the roads being washed out or localized flash flooding now, I'm not too concerned about that storm. Again, nothing screams to me that this is alarming, other than this your low end hazardous to sell. And I started. Yeah. So, looks like we're going to be good for this little weather watching venture. So, this is something we're going to be doing from now on, is when we have like severe events, and I'm going to try to cover other locations too when this is happening. And we're just going to see what's going on in the pattern, in the sense of that. So, this is something that I'm going to try to do more. In addition to, so let's talk about changes that are coming to the channel for the new year real quick since I have you guys' attention. So, beginning after the weekend of the new year, which is on the 5th. Beginning on the 5th of January, starting on Saturdays, we're going to have the return to reaction videos, trash reaction content. That will be from starting at 3 p.m. Pacific time. I wish you got on camera, Jameson. That's nice. Yeah. So that is something that's been requested a lot by a lot of you viewers, and that's something we are going back to. We'll have a little more details. I have a whole video out detailing more what this is going to be expected, because there's going to be some changes. Also, there's the members. I've been kind of like lacking on it because of the ongoing situation that I was having, but now that situation is resolved. I can get more back into full-time YouTubing with everything. So member content is going to be some behind-the-scenes content. They're also going to have special perks in the live streams to be able, especially in the reaction live streams. Also, yeah, that's basically, we'll have our own member only a live stream as well, and they'll have access to some content that may not make it out of the editing room floor, but that will be available to behind the scenes for those people that want to watch that stuff. Collection content will be coming out on Sundays, and we'll have gaming content on Wednesdays coming out, with weather content being sprinkled in between as well. Live stream on Friday would be a gaming live stream of most likely either Roblox or a PlayStation counterpart, whatever video game that we're playing that night. Then yeah, so that's coming out all at the beginning of this new year. So like I said, I'll have a video on that tomorrow, more about everything that's coming out on that part. So yeah, like I said, there is nothing I see here that is like, other than the cell that is just putting down a lot of rain and some small hail. Looks like it'll be okay for now. So but yeah, those are, like I said, I'll have that all in detail out tomorrow. So hope you guys hope you guys have a good night. We'll keep tracking this weather. Obviously, if something crazy happens, we'll be back live again tonight. But I'm not anticipating anything tonight. At least that doesn't come in until the morning hours, which we'll see. And that may not be able to go live, and power might be out. So we'll see what happens on that part. But everybody, thank you for joining for tonight's live stream on Weather Watch. And I'm Trashman Matt. I will see you guys in the next live stream. Again, thank you. Those of you who want to see more of this content, obviously put a like on it as well. So, all right, guys, have a good night, and I'll see you tomorrow, and Merry Christmas.